There are very few situations where I would call having to pay out $22.5 million as getting off easy. This is one of those instances. And what I'm talking about is what happened with TQL, Total Quality Logistics. When you think about everything horrible about corporate America, when you think about some of the worst companies that you've come across, when you think about all the horrible places that you could possibly work where they say that you're treated like family, TQL Logistics and what happened at TQL Logistics is a perfect example of what's wrong with corporate America. This is one of the most egregious examples of an employer acting like absolute garbage that I've ever seen. So let me set the stage for you. Chelsea Walsh, who was an employee of TQL Logistics, got hired at the company, and she disclosed prior to hire that she was pregnant. As her employment continued at TQL, she learned that she was in a high-risk category for her pregnancy. She even got doctors to go ahead and validate that and prepare all of the documentation, and she put in an accommodation request to the leaders at TQL to work from home since her pregnancy was high risk. She made that request on February 15th of 2021, and she had made that request after undergoing a surgery to repair her cervix to prevent her from going into early labor. And when she asked the leaders at TQL for that accommodation to work from home, TQL presented her with an impossible choice. You can take an unpaid leave of absence, or you can continue to work in the office. And that was an impossible choice for her because the benefits that her family relies on is provided through TQL. It's a no-win scenario. So she returned to work on February 22nd, 2021, and 2 days later, she gave birth to her daughter Magnolia, who was alive for 90 minutes before she passed away. She went into labor early, and it resulted in the death of her child. Interestingly, prior to that happening, earlier in the day, TQL had decided to change their policy and allow her to work from home, but that was only after her husband, who had connections at the organization, pointed out the risk that TQL was putting themselves in for a lawsuit. And TQL did an about face, allowed her to work from home, but by that time it was too late. The case went to trial, and the jury found that TQL was responsible for the wrongful death of her. This is one of the worst instances of corporate negligence that you can think of. And the lesson here for a lot of us is that no matter how much commitment you demonstrate, no matter how much of a family that a company says they are, in the end, most companies are only going to watch out for their bottom line and whatever is most convenient for them, regardless of how it impacts you. And here's the part that is the most irritating part about this case. After the settlement, TQL's spokesperson said that she offers her condolences to the family, but they're going to be appealing the decision. This is what corporate America is right now. This is what the billionaire class and the millionaire class think of us as employees. Disposable cogs in the wheel, and no matter how much pain and suffering they heap on us, they're not responsible. This should be a lesson that all of us take to heart, because we're going to continue to see more and more of this happening in the workplace because companies have made it clear that the only thing that they care about is the bottom line and feeding their executives bonus plans.